Hey everyone, welcome to Tutoring. Hope you're having a great day. Today we are doing a question submitted by a student, and that question is Chapter 7D, Question 1M. So if you have a look at this question right here, it is a definite integral, and this chapter is your simple substitution chapter. But just by looking at this, you can maybe use simple substitution, which you do actually have to. But the thing with definite integrals and simple substitution is it brings along with it some implications. The definite integral part is the one that is the problem. So let's have a look at the question and you'll see what I'm talking about. So we are supposed to antiderive e to the power of x divided by 1 minus e to the power of x in terms of x, and then you have to sub in -1, -2 afterwards. So to do this, first of all, it is one function over another function. Therefore, we have two functions, and we have two functions. It leaves room for you to do the simple sub. So now our next option is, what should we let u equals to? There's numerous options here. You can let u equals to e to the power of x. You can let u equals to 1 minus e to the power of x, or you can let u equals to, I don't know, whatever one you want, okay? I'm going to let u equals to e to the power of x, and once again, when we do simple sub, you derive this, you still get e to the power of x. And of course, if you find dx by itself, that is du divided by e to the power of x. And if you were to write this again, so I'm just going to rewrite this over here. E to the power of x is fine. Okay, now I don't want to turn this into a u. I want to turn the one at the bottom into a u, but I don't want to turn the one at the top into a u. And that's because when you write dx in terms of du, you get du over e to the power of x. So you can actually eliminate that. You want that to become a fodder for you to eliminate. Okay, and here's the problem that students encounter. Now, everyone would do -1, not everyone, but like most students at the start of this chapter, they would put in -1, -2, because that's what you're meant to do, right? But the problem is these are x values. You're now anti-deriving in terms of u. -1, -2 were for the x values. They're not for the u values. So you want to find your u values for this new integrand. So how do you do that? Well, we let u equals to ex, right? So when x equals to -1, u is equals to e to the power of -1. I'm just subbing in -1 over here so that I can know what my u is, and that's 1 over e. And if you let x equals to -2, u is e to the power of -2, which is 1 over e squared. So the numbers that you should actually sub in is not -1 and -2. It should actually be 1 over e. So the format is still the same. If -1 is up top, then 1 over e is up top. It doesn't matter if 1 over e or 1 over e squared, which one's big or small. If -1's up here, then the corresponding u value should also be up there. Same thing with the -2. So in this case, we get 1 over e squared, okay? So that's what your integrand should actually be. Not -1, -2, 1 over e squared. That's your terminals. Right, then let's keep moving on. Yeah, so just be careful with that. 1 on e, 1 on e squared. The ex cancels out, which is quite nice, and you have 1 over 1 minus u, anti-derive in terms of u. We can definitely do this, guys. What does 1 over 1 minus u look like? Well, if you've done enough revision, on the anti-diff, you should get log e mod of 1 minus u. Because if you derive that, you get this, okay? Now, don't forget, this is a common mistake here. That negative u also comes out, okay? So that's a negative. So you derive this inside function, which is -1, and you bring the 1 over outside. And we're supposed to sub in 1 over e and 1 over e squared. I'm just going to move it along over here so that's on the same page. Okay, next part, we sub in 1 over e into the u. And if you do that, we get negative log e. Now, mod 1 minus 1 on e. In that case, we should put a mod really, because 1 minus 1 on e is actually a negative number, so it should actually be 1 over e minus 1. But anyway, we'll keep the mod in there, keep it simple. That's the first one, we sub in 1 over e. Now it's minus, and then we sub in 1 on e squared, but then it's when we sub in 1 on e, that's still a negative, so I'm going to put minus minus, which is a plus. And that is log e mod of 1 minus 1 over e squared, close bracket, and then let's do some calculation. When you have two logs, actually before that, we want to make things a little bit simple. First, I'm going to put log e of e minus 1 over e. I should really put the mod, not the bracket. Put the mod first, plus log e mod e squared minus 1 over e squared. Okay, now if you have one log minus the other log, you can just combine the logs together, but this time you divide the function inside. So e squared minus 1 over e squared divided by e minus 1 over e. What is our final answer? So it's still log e. E squared minus 1, another way of writing that is e minus 1 e plus 1, right? So your perfect square. And then divided by e squared, I'm going to still write the divide, e minus 1 over e. And then what we have here is the e's are going to start cancelling out. The e minus 1 will cancel out with the e minus 1. This is the divide sign, so you can cancel on the same numerator denominator. E and the square cancels out. And what you're left with is log e mod of e plus 1, everything divided by e. And what can we do here? Well, once again, you can leave your answer as this theoretically, but you can go one step further. You can go log e of e plus 1. Now e plus 1 is a positive, is bigger than e, so the mod of that is still the same thing. E plus 1, you don't have to put the negative sign. But then it's minus log e of e, because that's a divide, right? So if you use your log rules, your e right here becomes a minus log e of e. And what do we know about log e of e? Well, log e of e is essentially 1. And then there we go, we have log e of e plus 1 minus 1. Don't be tempted to separate this, e plus 1. You can only separate logs if it's multiplied. This is plus, it's not exponential, okay? It's logs. So you can't separate that, okay? So there we go, log e of e plus 1 minus 1, and that is your final answer, okay? So hopefully you guys found this video useful and it can help you solve for that question in your textbook. But aside from that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.